Two people were rushed to the hospital after a train slammed into a taxi in Suffolk. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Scott. We'll have more on that story in a moment. But first, accused Gilgo Beach killer Rex Heuermann's attorney may ask the judge to try some of the charges against his client separately. Sherry Einhorn explains why.
Gilgo killings suspect Rex Heuermann was back in a Riverhead courtroom today as the case against him weaves its way through the legal system. The Massapequa Park architect is facing murder charges in the deaths of these 6 women, and he's considered a suspect in a 7th case. Today, his defense attorney said he would probably file a motion to separate at least the last 2 cases from the so-called Gilgo 4.
The MO is different. The way that the murders allegedly were carried out were different. Where those bodies were, I'm going to say, I hate using these words, but deposited or left is completely different.
In court, prosecutors told the judge they handed over more evidence, 30 terabytes of data, some of it from devices seized from Heuermann's home. Suffolk DA Ray Tierney saying his office is still getting tips from the public, around 7,000 so far.
This is a case where, obviously captured the public's imagination, and so the public is continually providing tips which are being evaluated.
Voluminous, that's the word that keeps being used to describe the amount of material handed over from prosecutors to the defense in this case that spans 30 years. So we asked the defense team how they were doing.
I think way behind is a very optimistic view. So I'm definitely not caught up. I'm definitely not way behind. I am extremely way behind, as are they.
So when might this case go to trial?
I think Mike Brown said it well when he said that, this is kind of an unprecedented case. You have someone charged with 6 murders, but it's over the course of 30 years. Right. Typically, the serial killer cases are over a shorter period of time. This is a very unique case, and it's hard to put a timeline on things.
Heuermann's next court date is October 16th. In Riverhead, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
To read more about the Gilgo killings investigation on Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Members of the Gotti family appeared in court today. The wife and daughter of John Jr. Gotti pleaded not guilty to assault charges. The charges are for an assault, an alleged fight at a high school basketball game back in February. A judge will now look into requests from the defense to drop the case. The mother and daughter are scheduled back in court in September. Back to that train that struck a taxi cab today. The Manville Fire Department says the car was going north on Wading River Road in Manville when the eastbound train struck it.
We were able to extricate both patients by cutting the doors and the roof off the car, got them into the awaiting ambulances, one transported by helicopter and one transported to Peconic Bay on the ground.
Now, there were more than 40 people on the train, but no passengers were hurt. The train has been moved and bus service is now being provided to riders. Police are looking for the public's help finding 3 men involved in a deadly hit and run. The victim was riding a motorcycle when a Ford Explorer turned and threw the man from the bike. 3 men were seen leaving the Ford Explorer after the crash. It happened on Wicks Road in Brentwood on Monday after 7 p.m. A recent Newsday analysis found that at least 12 people were killed in motorcycle crashes on Long Island in May and June of this year. That number surpasses last year's death toll of at least 6 people during the same months. Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS. Suffolk police officer was honored today for saving a fisherman 80 miles offshore.
I carry what's called like a ditch bag. It's got like an emergency locator, tourniquet, bottles of water, some other essential fishing needs, and you just kind of roll into it as if it's a normal call with just a little different equipment, and you're floating instead of on 4 wheels.
Now here's cell phone video of the helicopter that came to the rescue thanks to Officer William Parmentier. He was fishing with friends when they heard a mayday call and jumped into action. The man was suffering from blood loss after he sustained a puncture wound from a fish hook. Today, Parmentier was named the first ever Cop of the Month by the Suffolk County Legislature. A movie theater in Babylon has reopened its doors after nearly a decade. The town of Babylon delayed the reopening of South Bay cinemas last year after safety violations. The theater is under new ownership after a $1.3 million renovation. Well, all eyes are on the USA Gymnastics team in Paris. Simone Biles led the team to gold in the women's team final. Among the celebrities in the crowd, tennis legend Serena Williams and actor Natalie Portman. Italy took home silver and Brazil took bronze. Here's a look at the medal count for the 2024 Olympics so far. The U.S. is leading the way with a total of 26 medals, followed by France, China, and Japan. Well, young people are catching on to the pickleball craze, and there is a new push to make it a varsity sport. Michael Soley has the story that you'll see only in Newsday.
The popularity of pickleball has exploded over the last few years. Now it's making its mark on the younger generations. Some Long Island officials are pushing for the sport to make it to the varsity level. The Hampton Bays district was introduced to the game over 3 years ago, thanks to the effort of one longtime community member.
I just took to it and loved it.
Scott Green founded Around the Post Pickleball in Hampton Bays. His goal was to bring the game into the school systems, and he held workshops for physical education teachers to teach students throughout the district in 2021.
And we gave the entire phys ed department, all levels of the school system, 2 or 3 hour tutorial on how to teach pickleball.
Green remembers seeing the students on the court for the first time.
I cried. I thought it was great. And we did this so we can introduce the game to the community.
Recently, Suffolk County has made efforts to bring the sport to the varsity level. Section 11 coordinator Tom Combs said it's gaining popularity among teens and it's another healthy outlet for young people to get exercise and have fun. We had discussions among our members about adding the sport for boys and girls. Massapequa Rising senior Thomas Harding was introduced to pickleball in gym class. He said he would be interested in joining a varsity pickleball team if there was one.
The games are very quick. It's also a 2-player sport, so you and your teammate have to strategize.
Joe Swinarski spent the spring playing pickleball after baseball practice with his teammates to de-stress.
It doesn't take too much effort. All you need is a paddle and the ball. It's pretty easy to learn, pretty easy to play.
Combs said more schools are reaching out about introducing pickleball to curriculums in gym class. For Green, that's what it's all about.
It makes you feel good that you're able to bring something and bring happiness to people.
Michael Scully, NewsdayTV.
And you can read more about pickleball on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your Long Island weather. Partly cloudy tonight with the chance of a passing shower. The overnight lows around 74 degrees. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sun with another passing shower. The highs will be around 81 degrees. Now look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Drew Scott. Thank you for joining us.